I still need the mic?
Glenn, yeah,
Oh, they
yeah.
moved this, okay. After Richard III, Malachi did The Tale of Two Cities. And again, it was a tour de force in stagecraft. Because what Malachi did was to build a revolving stage in which both France and England could be simultaneously on the stage, but hidden from each other. Because
Wow.
Obviously, one scene would turn and it would be France, and the next scene would turn and it would be in England. For this, I need two people, and it's the scene where Charles Darnay, who was the immigrant, is put on trial in London for treason, against the British Crown. And Stryver, who is the associate of what's his name? Can't think of it. Darnay is the Frenchman. Who's the other?
Carton, Sidney Carton?
Sidney Carton, right. So I need Sidney Carton and Mr. Stryver.
Glenn, before you start, that's this revolving stage. We spent 3 nights right up on the bed getting that thing to work.
Okay.
Because the flange in the center kept breaking.
Yeah.
And one time the stage almost rolled off.
Yeah. The stage was circular, and Vince said that they spent 3 nights trying to get the thing correct because the flange in the middle of the turn wheel, I guess it was basically a large lazy Susan, kept on breaking off. Okay.
What year was it, Glenn?
Let's see, Tale of Two Cities was in 61.
Okay.
61. So do I have a Mr. Stryver and a
Sidney Carton.
Sidney Carton?
You guys hear that? We're looking for...
A Mr. Stryver and a Sidney Carton.
All right,
Here we go.
just need an
While
icebreaker.
we're waiting for the other person, that particular play didn't use the revolving stage. We used 4 platforms on wheels. The inside was a house or a living room, and the outside was the outside of the house. So that, and Bob, you were on the stage crew then, weren't you?
Stage manager.
Yeah, he was stage manager. And
Was it done earlier?
did you do it? Did you do that twice?
When did he do the
The revolving stage was in the Passion play.
Yeah.
Was it
yeah.
the Passion Play?
Yeah. And but in this one, the uniqueness that he came up with was that when the audience saw the inside, you could be in France or in England or in the trial area. I played Dr. Manette in that one. And, but if you can imagine, there used to be a cyclotron in the back, huge screen, and you could project various light images on it. And what Malachi did is he created a shadow of the Bastille, and all of the stage crew and the other players, what they did is they turned the little rooms so you saw the outside. So as the crowd started on this side of the stage, you saw them running through the streets of Paris. And then it switched around and they came out of this side. And then all you saw were the outside of the houses or the little rooms. And then you saw shadows of the people, similar to the rat lines, climbing up to the Bastille. And then the curtain came down for the attack. It was the most mind-boggling thing I have ever seen. And he was genius in the way that it was done. And the stage crew, really, the stage crew made all of these things work. It was just amazing.
I apologize, because I thought it was that,
No, but it was that same year that he had pillars going up the middle of that turntable, and you could create all sorts of different areas. Ray Caffrey was
Right.
the Christus that year.
I
Okay,
just wanted to add one thing to that, since a lot of you know Malachi. You know, we were so precise in making these buildings and the outside of it, and I'm watching the crew, we're making the stones that these buildings were made out of it, trying to get them all nice and precise, and each of these things had a different pastel color to them. So we were so proud that we did such a great job on this, and we're finishing up and heading over to
And
the
Malachi
dinner.
comes out with the black
Malachi comes
meat.
in dressed in overalls and everything, and a spray thing, and he sprayed the whole damn thing like it's that back there black. Because it was sooty in the city, you know, so the thing is, and I'm going, why did we spend all this time?
Yeah, right.
okay, Mike just gave me the evil on the time, and we gotta wrap it up here. Now, we got one to go, Glenn, is that very long?
we can wrap it up. But just do this one,
Okay,
yeah.
So are you gonna do the other? Okay.
Are we gonna do that one?
you want,
It's as good as any.
okay, who do you want to do? You want to start it?
I didn't get any of the lead parts in this one. so-
Well,
You wanna
now's
do
your
Sidney
chance,
Carton?
come on.
He's the hero, isn't he? Carton?
Yes, he
Yeah,
is.
you want to do the hero? Carton?
I've never been the hero. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, do the hero.
I'll start with Mr. Stryver. That's him there. He calls himself Darnay, Charles Darnay. I tell you, the Marquis is going to make it well worthwhile for both of us. Really. Not working yet, Carton? This is too much. You've got to put your mind in this case.
No, not possible.
They've got this Charles Darnay up for treason.
I don't know Charles Darnay. I hate treason. I hate Frenchmen. For that matter, I hate Englishmen. Yes, but Laurie sent this case to us with a special request for all my consideration.
It's not my consideration he wants, it's yours. Why don't you give it to him? Of course. I count on you for a little help.
You don't need me. You're a great barrister, Stryver. The Stryver of the King's Bench Bar. Well, if I am, it's due to perseverance. I had to get into the front rank, and I wasn't born there, was I? I used my brains.
Okay, maybe
Oh.
this is a mistake. Go ahead.
Okay. You use mine, you mean?
Well, if I do, I pay you for it.
Well, not enough to justify your interfering with my drinking. But this is a treason case. It's a matter of life and death.
Well, so is everything else. What of it, Carton? I beg of you, have a look at this brief. With a man's life in your hands, how can you hesitate?
Well, I don't hesitate, Mr. Darnay. Fate have it that I should handle your case. Your life is in my hands. I may lead you to fortune or the grave. Who knows? Who cares?
Fantastic. None of you have lost it, okay? I'm just going to summarize because, when we finish by 4, Jim?
We have to be at Mass by 4.
There was another play that Gabriel did called what? The Paths of Glory. The Paths of Glory. What?
Mass is at 4 o'clock.
Oh,
Mass is at 4.
yes, it's at 4. We're finished
Is
then.
Bob here? Bobby Gregorio?
We just left.
Because he's the one that's
Celebrating.
calling the shots on the mass.
We go see where he is.
You said he was leaving, go over. He was leaving?
Well, I guess he would,
Yeah.
he's probably gone.
We may be leaving.
All right.
Jim said he was leaving to go over early.
Oh, okay, he's already gone. What do you have left?
Well, I just have, the Paths of Glory was another, I don't know, Bob, were you the stage manager for that? What that was the trenches of a French of the Frenchmen during the First World War. And again, it was another trial. It was about an attack that was called, and the men refused to go into the attack, and the commanding officer defends them against a tribunal. I just want to end one thing here. In '67, the news came.
It's almost 4 o'clock for mass,
Okay,
right?
we're done.
Sorry.
Okay, well, thank you, Glenn. That was a good, it gave us a flavor of what we used to do many years ago.